The story begins with a traumatic birth. A woman undergoes a forced medical operation to deliver her son, but the joy of the birth is immediately overshadowed by horror. The child is born with a severe physical deformity. His hands are unnaturally large and powerful. Despite their fear, his parents resolve to raise him as a normal child. However, as the boy grows, he becomes an outcast. When he attempts to play with other children, he is met with cruel mockery and bullying because of his oversized hands. Amidst this cruelty, only one young girl shows him kindness, shielding him from the other children's taunts. Her compassion makes her a target, and the bullies turn their aggression toward her. Seeing his only friend mistreated triggers a dormant rage within the boy. He retaliates with terrifying strength, grabbing the lead bully and strangling him. His massive hands crush the boy's throat with such force that the victim's eyes bulge out, an event so gruesome that the protagonist is forever branded with the name Popeyes. Horrified by their son's lethal strength, his parents lock him in the basement to hide him from the world. In this isolation, Popeyes discovers a mysterious presence behind a second basement door. Though they never see each other, they become close friends, communicating through letters passed back and forth. This hidden companion becomes his only source of solace as hatred builds outside the house. News of the child's death spreads through the town, inciting a lynch mob. The townspeople set the house on fire, and in the inferno, Popeye's parents perish. Desperate, Popeyes asks his basement friend for help. She urges him to flee for his life while she remains behind. Popeyes escapes the burning ruins only to be chased by the mob toward a nearby lake. Weighted down by his heavy limbs and unable to swim, he sinks beneath the surface. The townspeople, convinced no one could survive, leave his body to the depths. 15 years pass, and the tragedy fades into a local urban legend. The modern story begins with a trio of YouTubers, 2 men and a camera woman, who arrive at the site of the old house to film a paranormal investigation. They discuss the legend of Popeyes, noting that many locals claim to have seen a massive figure lurking in the frequent, heavy fog. Despite the camera woman's mounting dread after spotting a figure watching them from the woods, the 2 men insist on entering the rebuilt structure. The investigation turns fatal almost immediately. While the men are distracted inside, Popeyes emerges from the mist and brutally executes the camera woman by crushing her skull under his boot. He then enters the house. He corners the female YouTuber and rips her jaw apart with his bare hands. Her companion attempts to defend himself with a hammer, but the weapon proves useless against the giant's thick skin. Popeyes overpowers him, gouging out the man's eyes as a grim echo of his first kill. After the slaughter, a note is pushed through the basement door: "Welcome back." The mysterious friend from his childhood is still there, waiting. The focus then shifts to a college student named Tara. Her mother has recently inherited the property after the previous owner, a history teacher, died under mysterious circumstances. Although Tara's father warns her to sell the house and stay away, Tara is intrigued. She lies to her parents, telling them she is going on a trip, while secretly leading her group of friends to the cursed property for a getaway. En route, the group encounters an eccentric old fisherman. Recognizing their destination, he warns them in a state of panic that Popeyes is real, a phantom of the fog who kills all who trespass. The teenagers dismiss him as a crazy local and continue to the house. Upon arrival, the atmosphere is eerie. They are briefly startled by a scream, which turns out to be one of their friends playing in a hot tub, but the sense of unease lingers. They soon discover they have no cell service, and Tara learns that a thick fog is expected to settle over the region for at least a week, trapping them. Meanwhile, the old fisherman's warning is validated when Popeyes finds him at the lake and strangles him to death. Back in the city, Tara's mother and a friend, whose son is also with Tara, discover the truth about where the teenagers have gone. They see news reports suggesting the fog killer has returned and realize their children are walking into a death trap. At the house, the atmosphere turns from a party to a nightmare. A friend named Binny is startled by a haggard, terrifying woman appearing at the window. The woman enters uninvited, speaking in riddles about Popeye's return and a long-awaited revenge. Before the girls can demand answers about what revenge she means, the woman vanishes into the night, with a desperate Tara chasing after her into the thickening white fog, unaware that the giant with the crushing hands is already closing in on the group. The horrifying truth behind the legend of Popeyes begins to unravel as the fog thickens around the secluded estate. When Tara finally confronts the mysterious, creepy woman wandering the woods, she receives a chilling omen: Popeyes hasn't returned for just anyone, he has specifically come for her. While Tara's mother desperately tries to call her daughter to warn her of the danger, the lack of cellular signal leaves the teenagers isolated and vulnerable. Internal tensions within the group lead to the first wave of bloodshed. Tara's boyfriend, Dylan, shares the news that he has been accepted into a distant university, sparking a conflict over their future. Meanwhile, a secondary drama unfolds between Nick, Donna, and Sam. After Sam confesses her feelings for Nick and is rejected, she sends a spiteful message to Donna revealing Nick's infidelity. However, the message hangs in the digital void due to the dead zone. As Sam sulks by the water, Popeyes emerges from the mist. With his massive, distorted hands, he holds her underwater, strangling her until the life leaves her body. In the aftermath, the creepy woman is revealed to be more than a local ghost. She is Popeye's sister. Like her brother, she was born with deformities and hidden in the basement by their parents. Now reunited, the siblings have formed a lethal pact to cleanse the town of those they deem responsible for their suffering. When the group notices Sam is missing the next morning, Nick, desperate to hide his secret, lies and claims he saw her leave the previous evening. The body count rises as another friend, seeking solitude after a failed romantic gesture, wanders to the lake. He discovers a boat containing the mangled remains of the fisherman killed earlier. Before he can flee, Popeyes strikes with a heavy boat anchor, maiming him before slowly strangling him with a length of rope. The breaking point for the survivors occurs during a tense gathering when the signal briefly returns to Donna's phone. The delayed message from Sam arrives, exposing Nick's betrayal. Heartbroken, Donna flees into the woods. Nick chases after her, but his pursuit is interrupted by a bizarre discovery, a discarded tin of spinach. As he stares at the object, Popeyes ambushes him. Despite Nick's strength, he is no match for the giant, who brutally executes him by slamming his face into a jagged, broken piece of timber. Donna, returning to apologize for her anger, finds Nick's corpse. Before she can grieve, Popeye's sister appears at the window, signaling her brother to finish the job. Donna is chased into a clearing and caught in a snare trap, where Popeyes uses a mechanical thresher to kill her as her friends watch in horror. Just as Tara, Dylan, and their friend Kathy face certain death, a car screeches to a halt. Tara's parents and Dylan's mother have arrived in a desperate rescue attempt. The reunion is short-lived. Popeyes immediately targets Dylan's mother, snapping her neck with a noose. In the ensuing chaos, Kathy attempts to escape in the car, but Popeyes utilizes his supernatural strength to flip the vehicle. As fuel leaks from the engine, he ignites the wreckage, burning Kathy alive. Seeking refuge in a nearby room, Tara demands the truth. Her mother reveals a dark history. 15 years ago, Tara was the only child who showed Popeyes kindness. When the other children bullied her for defending him, Popeyes' protective rage turned lethal. The town's retaliation, burning his house, was a sin the siblings never forgot. Furthermore, the house itself was a cursed inheritance, passed through the town's social hierarchy in alphabetical order, with every recipient meeting a violent end. The climax erupts when Popeye's sister breaks into their sanctuary, stabbing Tara's father to death. She mocks Tara, claiming that Popeyes intends to spare her while slaughtering everyone she loves. In a desperate act of defiance, Tara douses the sister in kerosene. When the woman attacks again, Dylan sets the fuel ablaze. The sister is consumed by fire, dying just as Popeyes arrives. Consumed by a new, feral grief, Popeyes blames Tara's mother for the act and strangles her before Tara's eyes. Fueled by trauma and adrenaline, Tara lures the giant toward a heavy truck. She manages to run him over, seemingly crushing the life out of the monster. As dawn breaks, Tara and Dylan, the only survivors, prepare to flee the cursed valley. However, the nightmare refuses to end. In the final moments, the dead Popeyes rises once more, his massive hands reaching out to seize Tara, leaving her fate and the cycle of revenge hanging in a terrifying void. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.